Hey everyone, thank you so much. And Herman, hello from Guerrilla Games. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
It's so nice to have you here. We, of course, I was just like kind of distractedly looking at Horizon Zero Dawn.
As am I.
So we were just talking about Horizon Zero Dawn as being shown on PlayStation 4 Pro. It is so exciting to be able to talk about this. What does PS4 Pro mean to not only you and your team as developers, but also for a game like Horizon Zero Dawn?
I mean, it is a great thing for us. I mean, as a studio, we're all about new hardware and what we can do with that. But for this project specifically, it's about a very large open world. So having these massive draw distances and for us to be able to have these detail, just look at that foliage in the back, to be able to project that, it's fantastic to give that to the consumer. But also, this world is all about beauty, majestic beauty, and just look at the light in the sky, and if she turns around, you look at the shadows and you see all the detail. It just takes the experience, to me, to the next level. So I'm really, really psyched up about it.
Absolutely. From a more technical standpoint, are there particular aspects of the hardware that you guys really feel like has been beneficial to you, building something that has such large scope?
I mean, I think it's the overall power of the PlayStation 4 Pro. Still getting used to the name, of course. It's everything. It's both the 4K capability as well as the HDR that together, I think, makes up this fantastic image.
Absolutely. Now tell me a little bit more about the game. I mean, obviously we're seeing some new footage here in New York City, debuted today, so that's probably of particular importance to you guys. Tell us a little bit about what we're seeing. For example, the tall neck. Did I get it right?
The tall neck, yeah. So the tall neck, so first of all, she's in a new ecotope here. This is the jungle. So we've seen kind of these snowy landscapes before. We've seen some desert before. She's in a more jungle type environment. So she's taken out a scout here. She's on her way to go up to that tall neck, and she wants to hack that thing.
Okay.
Right? And that's going to give, well, let's not get into what kind of perks it's going to give you.
Okay.
But it's an important thing because it's going to unlock a whole lot of abilities for you, open up parts of the world to you.
Yeah, you don't want to give too much away.
Well, maybe not
for
quite.
Our hero Aloy here.
2.5 minutes worth.
Who we were just discussing is like the coolest person ever, so I'm very excited to play Horizon.
I think you said you were in love with her, didn't you?
That might have been you. Well, I don't want to put words in your mouth. I think it might have been you.
I'll admit.
And then tell me a little bit more about in terms of building a world like this. I mean, this must be incredible for the folks at Guerrilla Games because this is you guys as a team stepping into new territory and kind of quite literally because it's so, it's this incredible new world. It's on new hardware. I mean, tell me about what that's like.
I mean, it is a wonderful opportunity. It's by 1.5 miles the most ambitious project we've ever done, taken on at
just
Guerrilla
compared
Games.
to all your other projects.
Absolutely, even compared to doing a launch title for PlayStation 4, it is a very large world. We wanted to go after a different kind of beauty. So the grit beauty of Killzone, but now this kind of lush, wonderful, natural world. And again, the new brightness and the new crispness of the image here, I'm just looking at it myself on the screen. I haven't seen a television screen this nice before.
We're going to play it for our audience after we're done talking, so they'll be able to see it. Sure.
And so there's a lot about this project. The fact that it's a new franchise, the fact that we are creating this lead character, Aloy, that is... I think she's able to execute what we're good at Guerrilla, which is tactical combat, right? We kind of honed our skills with Killzone. Now we're letting her go all out and doing that. And that's what this game is about, tactical combat.
So what are some of the lessons that you as a studio learned from Killzone that, specifically in combat, kind of apply to Aloy? Because that is still a huge leap going from like first person, a little more, I don't want to say traditional science fiction, not to say that Killzone isn't unique, but now going to sort of almost a post-apocalyptic science fiction here with Horizon.
Well, the thing is, the Killzone obviously was a science fiction game. Horizon is as well, right? It is nothing about that is fantasy. Everything is based on science and what we're doing. Clearly, the machines. I mean, we practiced a little bit with mechs, and we're taking that forward. The machines are a very essential part of this game. But then we started experimenting in the past, the Killzone franchise, with some more open levels. We're taking it to a seamless, wide open world. There's a lot of things that we're kind of pushing in many different directions. You can see the flying Glinthawks over there, just to add that little character to the world.
The level of distance you get in the image is just incredible, by the way, on running on pro hardware. But yeah. So tell me a little bit more about the combat then, because Guerrilla Games prides itself on combat, kind of that deep tactical element.
Absolutely.
There's an element of kind of using your instinct and your senses, to survey the landscape. That seems like it's very applicable here in Horizon.
So you look at Aloy compared to these machines. I mean, she's clearly. She has the size difference is massive. She will be typically outgunned, so she will have to be very clever. So preparing for combat is very important. She's got her traps, she's got her tripwires, and then once she engages, it is. I mean, she's very fast, she's very agile. So we're building this whole game. And you see the climbing mechanisms, the way she dodges. Everything is very fluid, and the combat is supposed to be very fluid. We make that a consistent goal for this project. So it is also important in the combat that she can actually evacuate and re-stealth. She should be able, when there are too many machines of different kinds in her vicinity after her, then she should be able to retract and reconsider. She's going to re-engage or maybe get out. So it's kind of like preparing, engaging, and then evacuating after if necessary.
And I guess I don't even think about that a lot, is that there is a stealth component to Horizon. I mean, is that important for you guys as a studio to kind of have to balance out those moments of intensity with moments of quiet and planning?
Absolutely. I mean, different players have been playing this game in a very different way. So some people really like to hide out in the tall grass and take
just
kind of
chill.
Well,
just
not
like
really.
Maybe have a
chill
drink.
and look around. You can do that too, right? But also maybe pick out the machines one by one instead of kind of engaging a whole, or have say a watcher alarm the rest of them. So you get in trouble and a lot of chaos. Some people just like that slower paced combat, and that's fine too. I mean, there's a ton of different ways to play this game, to engage, but also to build up your Aloy.
And then how about in terms of the enemy design? Because that obviously plays a huge role in the combat as well. You're dealing with such... They're both familiar and unfamiliar at the same time. Like to me, they kind of course, they're reminiscent of like prehistoric creatures, but they have such an alien element too. I mean, how do you guys deal with designing something like that?
So most of them are based on real-life animals.
Yeah,
and there's a purpose to that, because obviously when you see an animal, you expect a certain behavior. And you saw kind of a deer-like or herd-like machines out there, so you expect them to flee when you're after them. But if there's a more aggressive looking animal-like machine that you recognize from the wildlife, then you will be more careful. So there's a purpose to that.
Okay, excellent. Well, I know we're running a little short on time, so I just want to ask you, maybe what is like your final takeaway from this event here in terms of the PS4 Pro? I can't even say it still.
Yeah, PS4 Pro. That's right,
PS4 Pro hardware. What is kind of a highlight for you, and what do you feel like is the most exciting thing looking forward for this technology?
What I love about it is that there will be kind of the ultimate offering for people that want to go the extra mile and get a great experience, and they get an even better resolution at get the smoothest possible frame rate. But at the same time, I want to ensure and say, if you have a base model PlayStation 4 and you've seen our game playable at E3 and people said it looked amazing, I can tell you it's going to look even better when it comes out. So whether you get the baseline model, you get Horizon for baseline, or you get it for PlayStation 4 Pro, you can have an amazing experience.
I mean, that's something that we should reiterate before I finally let you go and you can actually mingle with everyone tonight, is that Horizon Zero Dawn is going to be fully playable, beautiful, amazing on the standard PS4 model. But you guys can get a little extra mileage out of that PS4 Pro hardware as well.
I might get one myself.
Really?
Yeah,
I
might.
I feel like we would just mail it to you or something. Maybe. We'll talk after this, and then maybe I can set you up with something.
Wonderful.
Does that sound okay?
Thank you.
Herman, thank you so much. It was a pleasure seeing you.
PlayStation